How do you stay consistent on Instagram and YouTube every single week with stories, reels, live videos, carousel posts, and YouTube videos? I'm gonna show you how I take one idea every week to crank out all the content for 5 days, right after I load the washing machine. Monday's laundry and YouTube day. That means I am recording my YouTube video and I am taking my thumbnail pictures. We'll talk about that later, because the first thing we have to figure out before we do any of this is we have to figure out how much content we are going to create each week. On my high end, like high impact week, that means I've got a YouTube video, a podcast, I've got 4 to 6 reels and 1 carousel and 1 live, and I'm going on stories every day. We're not gonna start with Monday, we're gonna start with Thursday, because that's the day I come up with the one idea that's going to help me generate ideas and content for the next week. Thursday is the day that I record my podcast. For me, it's really easy to crank out an outline for a podcast. I can record a podcast and edit it in a matter of a half hour. Here's the outline for this past Thursday's podcast episode. It was called Planning Your Video Content, My Weekly Content System and Schedule. After I did the podcast, I listened to it and I heard what I didn't talk about or what I could have made better. And then I added to this outline to give more details for the video that you are watching today. I also started to brainstorm reels ideas from that very topic so that I could easily promote my podcast with a reel and promote my YouTube with a reel. It doesn't mean that every one of my reels is going to promote my YouTube video, because that would be obnoxious, but it does mean that I'm going to use that video and take the elements in that video to help me brainstorm to come up with ideas for reels for the entire week. As far as how I organize all this, it's pretty chintzy. It's all in a $2 grocery store notebook. Then I go through and I start to assign myself reels every day of the week, and then I decide, is it going to be a personal story, tutorial, tips, or mistakes to avoid? So podcasting is on Thursday as well as a reel, and then on Friday, that's my fun day. That's when I will have fun with a creative reel or test new ideas. It's also the day that I go live. I'm trying to go live every Friday because that helps me connect with my audience. Plus, it's a great way for me to take a reel and then go deep into the lesson behind it, which is exactly what I did in my live video last week. And what that allowed me to do was share my screen, because I had the evidence of what I was talking about. In that situation, I was talking about how I script my reels, so I was able to pull up the script of that reel and dissect it. Sunday nights, I take some time to organize my thoughts for my YouTube video, knowing that I'm going to be recording it the next day, and I will take some time to go and repurpose a reel into a carousel post. I'm trying to make my carousel post really simple. I don't love them. I don't enjoy doing it. So I just figured if I can take some tips or tell a story, make a carousel post just so I have a carousel going out during the week. It's a nice way to give your audience a break from only seeing you in video, because sometimes we like to experience you in different ways than just a reel. And now we're on Monday, which is today. So we're recording this video. We've done the thumbnail. I've got to actually design the thumbnail, and I need to, after I finish talking to you on this camera, I'm going to go through my notes and go get B-roll shots of the things that I talked about so I can show those to you, so it's not just me that you're staring at the entire time, but you're actually seeing what I'm talking about. Then later, I will record and edit my reel for tonight. I don't like to batch record. It's just not in me. It drains my energy. I like to instead batch the ideas and batch the scripting and then record and edit the reel each day. I just find the time in my day to do it and make it happen. Tuesday is the day that I edit my YouTube video. It's also the day that I'm the least likely to have a reel, because editing does take a little bit, especially because of the way I edit. I like to show a lot of video on the video, which is time consuming. Not always necessary, but that's just me. Also on Tuesday, that is when I have my live Q&As with the members of my program, This is Video School. So I also have to take that into consideration. If I've got that going on, I'm less likely to have a reel that night. And then I want to post that video on Wednesday. Recently, I wasn't posting on Wednesday because I had an 8-week YouTube mastermind class that was on Wednesday mornings, and I didn't want to have to worry about my video not going out or something not being right with it. I like to be available for when it goes out so I can promote it, and I can be in the comments when that video goes out. So I was posting my videos on Thursdays. Also, I have learned through this whole process that plans are great, but they are meant to be broken when needed. Because of the season of life I'm in, I have to be able to go to Alabama on a moment's notice if something is going wrong with my dad, which, by the way, I am going to Alabama this Wednesday. So we shall see if this video actually gets posted on Wednesday, or I might post it on Thursday since I'll be driving to Alabama on Wednesday. If this is a lot for you to take in all at once, maybe you don't even have a YouTube channel, but you're thinking about starting one, watch this video right here because I show you my simple process of going from Instagram to YouTube, using what you already have on Instagram to launch your YouTube channel.